Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday, Zoom day. Nice to see familiar faces. Hope you're all doing well. We have an agenda. We have some things to say, and I hope you'll ask the questions that are uppermost in your mind. A couple of announcements. First of all, just a reminder that we will be hosting a webinar. It's actually under the auspices of UH Foundation, and it's going to be on the 22nd of July, which is next week. And it's going to be kind of a look back. It's in sort of to recognize the 75th anniversary. So there'll be a bit of a look back, a bit of a talk about what happened during the pandemic, and some look ahead, especially with Culinary Institute of the Pacific, CIP. There'll be live interviews with one of our students, Chris Fujimoto, who took part in undergraduate research. He's a culinarian, but did undergraduate research last summer, supported by Title III, the collaborative grant we have with Chaminade. And he'll talk a little bit about what he's into as a result of that, actually. His life had a change, of course, as a result of that undergraduate research experience. So pretty cool stuff, actually. It is not a Zoom meeting, it's a Zoom webinar, so you do need to register, otherwise you can't just log in. So please do that. The registration link is in the agenda. And if someone can throw up the link for the agenda, then people could get to the registration link for the webinar. Be nice to see everybody there. I'm still practicing. Another announcement is Susan Kazama is coming back to the campus August 3rd. And I put a note up in the bullet in the news and events, and also sent a note to CAC, but thought I'd share it with you guys if you haven't seen either of those missives. So she will be responsible in large part for supporting continuing ed. Continuing ed has lost some staffing, and there are functions that need to be fulfilled. And so we've asked Susan to do that when she returns on August 3rd. So that's kind of exciting. Let's see, an update from me on financial obligations. I talked a little bit about this last time, and what the federal government has encouraged institutions to do with the HERF funding is to what they call discharge financial obligations, because those financial obligations prevent students from registration. So the federal government is encouraging institutions to clear the debts. And so we have made the first pass, thanks help from Jennifer Bradley, from Jerry and Okawa, from Cynthia Chinleong in the cashier's office, and Justin. So we've gone through the first list and cleared financial obligations that students incurred starting in academic year 1920 and 2021. The first pass cleared $707,000 worth of debt. So that's a lot, and that allows lots of students now to be free to continue to go to school, to register. We cannot make the reimbursement or the clearing of the debt, sorry, they don't get the money, it just gets cleared off their accounts. We can't make it contingent and say, we'll clear it only if you register. It's just, it's cleared. And the funding goes to the college to pay back the lost revenue from the students. So that was the exciting part. We have a couple of other lists to go through. Some of them are highly complicated, like a student who is enrolled at Kapiolani but has a Manoa parking ticket. who should clear that debt. It's not a debt to the college, but the student is not a student at Manoa. So these are things that needed to be negotiated, and we're working through all of those more complicated ones. So it'll be ongoing for another couple of weeks as they generate more lists and we look more clearly at the complicated cases. So I really do want to appreciate Jerry and Cynthia and Jennifer and Justin for really trying to get this done. No lavache, there are no other, they don't have to have Title IV eligibility or have a completed FAFSA. The debt is cleared if the debt is owed and is legitimate. That's no, the message to the student, I think is being crafted as we speak. There's going to be some kind of a system-wide template. The message will go out to the students from the chancellor to say, here's what's happened. If you want to return to college, here are some ways that you can get financial assistance. So we'll be pointing them to the resources, not just saying, hey, you're debt free, come back. So we'll try to package that with information that would help them continue without accruing debt again. So that's the big news. Any questions about that? Anything? No. Okay. In that case, we will move on. Let's see. I never did, usually I ask the administrators if they want to say anything, but I never did ask them. But Carol has something in there about an upcoming webinar. So Carol, you want to let people know about Kaiaulu?
Oh, sure, Chancellor. Tomorrow we have a Kaiaulu webinar featuring an organization, Architects of Hawaii, 75 years of innovation, and they are celebrating their 75th anniversary, as are we. And we will have their CEO as well as their historic architect, and they will be talking about their development from 1946 forward, some of the landmark buildings that they have designed and created and produced. And then they will also be talking about sustainability and what they envision as what architecture and so forth will look like in Honolulu in the future. The webinar starts at 5:30. It is free, and you can register for that by going to the Continuing Ed site and looking up the webinar. And we, of course, we still have space. We'd love to see you there and have you participate. And our very own Denise Yoshimori Yamamoto will be the moderator for this exciting webinar. I would also like to add that we're still offering digital readiness classes free to anyone who does not know how to use a computer. We have classes tomorrow and next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you know anyone who would benefit from those, we will have delivered 28 sections by the time that we offer 2 more, and then we'll be going into the libraries to offer classes. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Carol. Any of the other administrators have announcements to make? And I'm sorry I didn't check in with you before. Okay, then there's another announcement about summer camp. Jamie, you want to say anything?
Hey, yeah, just a reminder that summer camp is happening again this year. It's going to be August 2nd through 5th. And I'll put the information in the chat. We have a huge variety, lots of diverse session topics, lots of stuff for staff this year, everything from health and wellness to hula, instructional topics. So you don't have to sign up for every session. Feel free to sign up for one or all of them. And we hope to see you there. Thanks.
Thank you, Jamie. Any questions for Jamie about summer camp? Marshmallow roast? No? No.
Bring your own.
Over your lighter. As
Exactly. Candle s'mores.
Okay. Then there is one question from Pat Taylor asking, when will the LPN program be reinstated? I'll defer to Lisa Raddick to answer that question. Lisa.
Good afternoon. I'm not sure that I see Pat is on the call, but for the record, want to clarify that the LPN program is simply paused. It's not that it's been discontinued. We're just simply pausing that, and that's a twofold reason for that. First of all, we have a total of 9 positions that we've lost over the last year in our nursing program, 7 of which we have submitted a critical fill request to hopefully get 7 of those positions. We have not heard back yet if we've got those positions. So the first and foremost reason is that we don't have enough nursing faculty to teach in all of the different programs that we have, keeping in mind that we have the RN program, the LPN program, CNA, the transition program, the ART program. So we had to make some tough decisions. The other piece of that is that currently in our long-term care facilities, they still view students as visitors. They classify you're either an employee or you're a visitor. So we are working on a program. We were hoping to get an apprenticeship approved, program approved, but that unfortunately didn't go through. So we're going to create an apprenticeship type format where our students will actually become employees at the long-term care facilities, which will allow them access to complete the required internship. So right now it's a twofold thing. We don't have faculty and we don't have clinical site availability for a full cohort of students. But on a good note, we're actually looking at growing the program. So we may actually be offering, currently we offer the program, we alternate between our campus and Leeward, and we're actually looking at expanding. We may be offering the LPN program on other campuses here on Oahu as well. So while we are paused, we look forward to actually some growth in the LPN program.
Thanks. And if there's anybody from the nursing department on the call, please relay the response to Pat Taylor. We'll have it in the notes as well, so Pat can go back and take a look. And let's see. Alisa, did you mean to say that to everyone? I'm not sure. That doesn't look like a everyone kind of message. It's okay. Good thing it wasn't nasty or anything. Yeah, that happens. There are no other announcements, and there are no other updates, and there are no other questions on the agenda. So floor is open to anyone who has a question or would like to make a comment. Updates from the system. No, Annie. The chancellors have not met any day this week. The vice president is away, and we won't be gathering together again until Friday. Tomorrow is the meeting of the Board of Regents. So if you have time in the morning, you can take a look and pay attention to what's happening at the board. It's going to be a meeting about, included in that board meeting is election of the new board chair and vice chair, and also the president's report to the board on 1 UH. If you check the materials on the BOR website, you'll see he has a PDF of the slides that he's going to be talking from. So you can get a preview of what he's going to say. No news about vaccinations, no news about returning to campus, no news about updated guidelines. It's crickets from the system right now. Not to say that things aren't being discussed, aren't being done. It's just that there's been no communication to us this week. The last I heard last week was that the unions still were asking multiple questions, mostly related to the guidelines for returning. And that's as much as I know. My understanding is that Hei Okimoto has said publicly that July 15, which is tomorrow, is the go, no go date for mandatory vaccinations. So I'm not aware. I do not know what that directive will be, but it has been said publicly that tomorrow is the day that they have declared will be the day to let people know what the answer is. But I do not know what the answer is, and I don't know for sure that they're going to do it. But that's what they said, them people there. So that's all that's all I know. Dancing on a moving rug. This is what we do. Others, anything burning that you guys need to know about or wish you knew about? Chronicle says we're going to require, yeah, well, there you go. Chronicle knows more than we do. It has not been decided unless somebody leaked to them. I do not know. I truly don't know. But it is the case that lots of people are making that a requirement. Who else is saying? Angela. Yes, cleaning the floors, getting it waxed and ready. Wonder if they do, no. Different kind of waxing, never mind, I wasn't gonna go there. Anything? Brian's gonna scold me for asking many times anything more. No, we're going to have the shortest meeting on record, 17 minutes. Way to go, team.
It saved me having to scold you, you see?
See? I've internalized your voice.
All
All right.
right. Happy Easter, everybody.
Okay, since I'm not hearing anything really burning, I will say thank you for joining us today and every Wednesday. I promise to do this. Brian say, shut up, keep it up. I promise to do this every Wednesday, but I will be gone on 2 Wednesdays. I will be going to Montreal. They lifted the quarantine requirements, so I'm going to visit family, going to a wedding, and there will be 2 Zoom meetings that may not happen. But others in the administration may want to, because August 3rd is one of those days. So anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Make sure you take time for yourself. Make sure you do the things that bring you joy and take care of each other and all of those around you. Okay, you guys? Unmute and say goodbye. Goodbye.
Be safe,
Aloha.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Safe travels. Bye.
Rest of your summer.
Bye.
See you September 4th.
Arrivederci.